Ukraine war, chances of more survivors from Dnipro strike minimal, mayor. The mayor of Dnipro has warned there may be no further survivors after Saturday's Russian missile strike on an apartment building in the eastern Ukrainian city. A whole section of the 9-story block collapsed and authorities say at least 40 people died. Rescue efforts are continuing. Several others are still missing and 75 survivors were injured. There is minimal chance of finding others alive, Mayor Boris Filatov said. On Monday, Russian President Vladimir Putin's spokesman insisted that the Russian military did not strike at residential buildings. Attacks are made on military targets, either obvious or disguised, Dmitry Peskov told journalists. Ukraine said the building was hit by a Russian Kh-22 missile, which it does not have the capability to shoot down. The missile is also known to be extremely inaccurate, according to the Office of Ukraine's Prosecutor General. But Mr. Peskov suggested the strike on the building could have been the result of Ukrainian air defense. Kyiv, Kharkiv, and Odessa were also hit on Saturday in attacks which Moscow said were targeted at Ukraine's military and energy infrastructure. Polish Prime Minister Mateusz Morawiecki called the missile strikes inhuman, adding that Russia intentionally keeps on committing war crimes against civilians. President Putin said everything is developing within the framework of the plan of the Ministry of Defense and the General Staff. Belarus, on Ukraine's northern border, is beginning joint air force drills with Russia on Monday. The Belarusian Defense Ministry insists they will be defensive, but there are concerns that Moscow is pressuring Minsk to join the war in Ukraine. Belarus was one of Russia's launchpads for the invasion last February. In his evening address on Sunday, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky noted he had received many messages of sympathy from around the world and condemned the Russian people's cowardly silence over the Dnipro attack. Switching to Russian during his message, he said he wanted to address those who even now could not utter a few words of condemnation of this terror. Your cowardly silence, your attempt to wait out what is happening, will only end with the fact that one day these same terrorists will come for you. He added the victims of the strike included a 15-year-old girl and that 2 children had been left orphans. It has been 2 weeks since the last wave of Russian attacks on Ukraine's power grid. On Saturday, Mr. Zelensky said energy infrastructure in the Kharkiv and Kyiv regions had been badly hit. Following the attacks, Ukrainian state energy company Ukrenergo temporarily imposed round-the-clock consumption limits for all regions. Ukrainian Energy Minister German Galushchenko said the next few days would be difficult.